Instruction on suspension by central government. Disclaimer: this training video is for use in training of officials. It should not be referred as guideline of government. In case of any variance in this training material, the government guideline, rules, laws shall prevail. What is the definition of suspension? It is a temporary withdrawal of duties from a government servant, pending inquiry into his or her conduct, with simultaneous reduction in pay and withdrawal of some rights and privileges. The provision of suspension are contained in the Rule 10 of CCA Rule 1965. Various provisions of suspension are also covered by the Rule 53, 54 and 55 of Fundamental Rule 1922. Whenever a government servant is placed under suspension, not only does the government lose his services, but also pays him for doing no work. The decision to place a government servant under suspension must be a carefully considered decision. When a government servant is placed under suspension, a government servant may be placed under suspension where a disciplinary proceedings against him is contemplated or is pending, where, in the opinion of the competent authority, he or she has engaged himself or herself in activities prejudicial to the interest of the security of the state, where a case against him in respect of any criminal offences under investigation, inquiry or trial, where continuance in the office of the government servant will prejudice the investigation, trial or any inquiry, where the continuation in office of the government servant is likely to seriously subvert discipline in the office in which the public servant is working, where the continuance in the office of the government servant will be against the wider public interest, where it is necessary to demonstrate the policy of the government to deal strictly with officers involved in unlawful activities such as scandals, particularly corruption, where serious allegations have been made and preliminary inquiry has revealed that departmental proceedings are likely to end in his conviction and or dismissal, removal or compulsory retirement from the service, where conduct of moral turpitude is involved, where corruption, embezzlement or misappropriation of government money, possession of disappropriate assets, misuse of official powers for personal gain is involved, where serious negligence and dereliction of duty resulting in considerable loss to government is involved, where desertion of duty is involved, where refusal or deliberate failure to carry out written orders of superior officers is involved. Reasons for suspension, if not indicated in the suspension order itself, should be communicated within 3 months. It should also be written on the suspension order that which rule of CCS Conduct Rule 1964 is violated by the delinquent employee. Deemed suspension. With effect from the date of his detention, if he is detained in custody, whether on a criminal charge or otherwise, for a period exceeding 48 hours. With effect from the date of his conviction, if in the event of a conviction for an offence, he is sentenced to a term of imprisonment exceeding 48 hours and is not forthwith dismissed or removed or compulsory retired consequent to such conviction. The period of 48 hours shall be computed from the commencement of the imprisonment from the conviction, and for this purpose, intermittent periods of imprisonment, if any, shall be taken into account. Where a penalty of dismissal, removal or compulsory retirement imposed upon a government servant under suspension is set aside in an appeal or on review and the case is remitted for further inquiry, suspension shall be deemed to have continued from the date of the original order of dismissal, removal or compulsory retirement and shall remain in force until further orders. Where a penalty of dismissal, removal or compulsory retirement is set aside or declared void by a court and the disciplinary authority on a consideration of the circumstances, decides to hold a further inquiry against him on the allegations on which the penalty was originally imposed, the government servant shall be deemed to have been placed under suspension from the date of the original order and shall continue to remain under suspension until further orders, provided that no such further inquiry shall be ordered unless it is intended to meet a situation where the court has passed an order purely on technical grounds without going into the merits of the case. Who can suspend a government employee? The appointing authority or any authority to which it is subordinate, or the disciplinary authority or any other authority empowered in that on behalf of the President by general or special order may place a government servant under suspension. Review of suspension. An order of suspension may be at any time be modified or revoked by the authority which made or is deemed to have made the order, or by any authority to which that authority is subordinate. Can be reviewed by the authority competent to modify or revoke the suspension before expiry of 90 days from the effective date of suspension on the recommendation of the review committee. Subsequent review shall be made before expiry of the extended period. Extension of suspension shall not exceed 180 days at a time. An order of suspension made or deemed to have been made shall not be valid after a period of 90 days unless it is extended after review for a further period before the expiry of 90 days. No such review of suspension shall be necessary in the case of deemed suspension. Further, the 90 days period in deemed suspension case will count from the date of release from detention or the date on which the fact of his release from detention is intimated to his appointing authority, whichever is later. Subsistence allowance. Subsistence means of supporting life, especially a minimum livelihood. Allowance given for such subsistence is known as subsistence allowance. Why subsistence allowance is paid? Because Article 21 of Part 3 of the Constitution says it is the duty of the government to protect the life and personal liberty of its citizens. Suspended employee is not paid any pay but is allowed a subsistence allowance. Subsistence allowance half average pay or half pay and in addition dearness allowance. Subsistence allowance to be reviewed after 3 months and may be increased by up to 50% of the allowance during the first 3 months or reduced by up to 50% of the allowance during the first 3 months. Headquarter during suspension. The headquarter of a government servant should normally be assumed to be his last place of duty. Cannot leave the station without prior permission. The order placing an officer under suspension should clearly indicate what his headquarter would be. However, where a suspended employee requests for a headquarter change, there is no objection in doing so. If the competent authority is satisfied that such a course will not put government any extra expenditure like grant of TA, etc. or other complications. Promotion during suspension. Suspended employee shall be considered by the DPC. The recommendation in respect to suspend employee shall be placed in a sealed cover. The sealed cover shall be opened depending on the outcome of the disciplinary proceedings. If an officer is suspended subsequent to the meeting of the DPC but before he is actually promoted, then the recommendation would be deemed to have been placed in the sealed cover. LTC during suspension. LTC cannot be availed as the suspended employee is not eligible for any kind of leave, but family members are entitled to LTC. Leave during suspension. As per Rule 55 of Fundamental Rule, any kind of leave may not be granted to suspended employee. Recoveries from subsistence allowance. Compulsory recoveries are income tax, house rent, repayment of loans and advances taken from the government, CGSS contribution, CGE GIS contribution. Deduction at the option of the suspended employee. Post office life premium, amounts due to cooperative stores or societies, refund of GPF advance. Deduction not to be done, GPF subscription, amount due to court attachment, recovery of loss to government. Forwarding of applications during suspension. Application of a government servant for appointment, whether by direct recruitment, transfer on deputation, or transfer to any other post, should not be considered forwarded if he is under suspension. Vigilance clearance may not be granted to any officer under suspension for deputation, empanelment, etc. Voluntary retirement during suspension. Appropriate authority will withhold the permission to a government servant under suspension who seeks to retire under either of these rules. Voluntary retirement after completion of 20 years qualifying service can be accepted if the date of retirement as per notice is earlier than the date on which the government servant concerned could have retired voluntarily. But permission will not be granted if disciplinary proceedings are for major penalty and there is a chance of removal or dismissal from the service. Prosecution have been lodged in a judicial court. If it is proposed to accept the notice of voluntary retirement, even in such cases, approval of the minister in charge should be obtained in regard to Group A and B employees and that of the head of the department in case of Group C and Group D government employees. Even if the notice of voluntary retirement requires, the government servant giving notice may presume acceptance and the retirement shall be effective in terms of notice unless the competent authority issues an order to the contrary before the expiry of the period of notice. Resignation during suspension period. The competent authority should examine, as per the merit of the disciplinary case, whether it would be in the public interest to accept the resignation. Normally, as officers are placed under suspension only in case of grave delinquency, it would not be correct to accept the resignation of an officer under suspension. Resignation may be accepted if the alleged offence does not involve moral turpitude or whether the evidence against the officer is not strong enough to justify that departmental proceedings. Resignation will not be accepted if the alleged offence involves moral turpitude and there is a chance of penalty of removal from service dismissal on the government servant. Retirement during suspension. Suspended employee is entitled to provisional pension equal to the maximum pension on the basis of qualifying service up to the date immediately preceding the date on which he was placed under suspension. Gratuity will not be paid until the conclusion of the disciplinary proceedings, except where the proceedings are under Rule 16 of CCA Rule 1965. Revocation of suspension. An order of suspension may be modified or revoked at any time by the authority who made it or any authority to which such authority is subordinate. An order of suspension made shall not be valid after a period of 90 days unless it is extended after review for a further period before the expiry of 90 days, provided that no such review of suspension shall be necessary in the case of deemed suspension. Further, the 90-day period in deemed suspension case will count from the date of release from the detention or the date on which the fact of a release from detention is intimated to the appointing authority, whichever is later. Conclusion of proceedings. If exonerated, where the competent authority is of the opinion that the suspension was wholly unjustified, the government servant may be paid full pay and allowances. If the proceedings were delayed because of government servant, notice will be given to the government servant, and after considering his representation, if any, an order regarding reduced amount to be paid will be issued. If exonerated, the period of suspension will be treated as period spent on duty for all purpose. Minor penalty is imposed. Where the proceeding result only in the minor penalty being imposed, then the suspension is treated as wholly unjustified. Other than exonerated or minor penalty, the competent authority shall determine the amount to be paid after notice to the government servant and considering his representation, if any. The period of suspension shall not be treated as duty unless the competent authority specially directs that it shall be so treated for any specified purpose. Other than exonerated or minor penalty, if the government servant so desires, the period of suspension may be converted into leave of any kind, due and admissible. 3 months for temporary and 5 years in case of permanent employee. Wherever the amount allowed is less than the full pay and allowances, it shall not be less than the substance allowance already paid. Death while under suspension. Where a government servant under suspension dies before the disciplinary proceedings or the court proceedings are concluded, then he or she shall be treated as duty for all purposes, and his family shall be paid the full pay and allowances for that period, subject to adjustment of subsistence allowance already paid. Serving of charge sheet. Suspension order should normally indicate the ground for suspension. Where the suspension is on the ground of contemplated proceedings because of government employee, charge sheet should be served upon the government servant within 3 months. Where charge sheet is not served within 3 months, the reason for suspension should be communicated to the government servant immediately on expiry of 3 months from the date of suspension. Appeal against the suspension. Order of suspension is appealable under Rule 23(1) of CCA Rule 1965. So in this video, we have discussed about suspension. If you have any doubt or clarification, you can contact through the email shown on the screen. For other videos on rules and regulations, please visit the web address as shown on the screen. Thank you.